Hey guys, it's Fultoncards here, and I'm about to open up a package of 1923-1924 Paulin's candy cards. Now they are NHL, not NHL, they are hockey cards, but from the competitor to the NHL, which was the Western Canada Hockey League, the WCHL. Although the cards are supposed to be from 23-24, there's some say that they're originally, I think, were issued in 26. But the key point is that they are actually pre-war cards. And these cards were redeemable for prizes, perhaps a hockey stick, I'm not really sure, but if they were redeemed, then they were stamped on the back or they were clipped, sort of like a train ticket gets clipped with like a one-hole punch. And so the ones with the one-hole punch are worth a little bit less than the other ones because the other ones are deemed pristine. Still, getting an entire set is very difficult. I don't think I ordered the entire set. I was able to buy almost the entire set. I think the entire set is 70 cards, so I believe I got 66 of the 70, something to that effect. The key cards within this set are the LALONDE, the George HAINSWORTH, which is deemed a rookie card, the Mervyn Red Dutton, the Joe Simpson, the Bill Cook. And so there are Hall of Famers like Joe Simpson, George HAINSWORTH, etc. are Hall of Famers. Herb Gardner's a Hall of Famer, and all the important cards are supposed to be within this package. And I think it's only some commons that are missing. And the George HAINSWORTH in poor condition, according to PSA.com, is still valued at over $400, if you can imagine that. So I'm just opening up the package now, and I believe that these people who played for the the WCHL, I think it's called, did play in the Stanley Cup as a competitor to the NHL. And of course, the issue there was the travel was very difficult. There was a Pacific Coast League in baseball, and this is sort of akin to that. But getting your hands on an entire set from pre-war at a price under thousands of dollars is rare. I think this is from someone in Alberta from an estate sale in Alberta recently. And I was sort of confabbing online with someone who had posted these cards, negotiating a price that was fair to both of us. And so let's see what we get. Just trying to open this up. These things get packaged really tightly. And yeah, so I think some antique collector had gotten them in an estate sale, and then they were passed on to the person who passed them on to me, if I understand correctly. I'm a big fan of pre-war cards. I don't own many, and to have something from the early 1920s is really special. So here we are, and this is them. So let's see what we got. They're taped in here pretty nicely. Of course, they're the smaller type cards. They're essentially, these cards feature black and white player photos. A thin black line surrounds the picture. The backs have card numbers on them. Usually they have little descriptions. We'll see the redemptions offer is spelled out. So that's something too. On the back of the cards, the redemption, which is why they're clipped, would be spelled out. It's really hard to unpackage. It's interesting, you put it on a piece of fake plywood or something in order to ship them without any trouble. It's a real pleasure to get cards that are prior to the 1960s, and getting anything from the 1940s and before is rare. Always possible to get them, but then you're paying a lot of money. And the good thing about cards like this is you're going to have them forever. It's not as if you're worried particularly about the value, because at this point you're really just someone who enjoys the hobby. And unlike cards today, which sort of fluctuate crazily, these will always retain the value no matter what goes on. So here we are. I'll take one or two out. These are still packaged pretty nicely. Barely, so much tape. And they're in a binder, or in sort of plastic sheets for a binder, which means easily, so I can easily put these away. So there you go. Let's see if we can find the George Hainsworth. Larry Lloyd. Fat Wilson. So it's almost the entire set. So there's the Newsy LaLonde. And notice how they've been punched. So that's the redemption punch. And let's look at the backs of them. So, for instance, the Newsy LaLonde is this one, and there's a George Hainsworth right next to it. It's actually decent shape for the George Hainsworth. As I said, you're going to have a hard time getting that for under $100. So it says collect the complete set of 70 famous hockey players. And then you can get a hockey stick. And it says, girls, if you don't want a hockey stick, you may choose a box of Pauline's delicious chocolate, so you can get the chocolates instead. So that's the redemption offer. But this is essentially the entire set. I've never owned anything this grand and beautiful, and I'm pretty stoked about it. So some of the cards are in a little bit worse shape, like that one there. But put it this way, I paid maybe $10 a card, and the sort of valuable cards started over $100. I think in poor condition they're worth 111 or something to that effect, or 110 bucks. So there you go. So this was my break of a package of the near complete set of the 1923-1924 Pauline's Candy. And these are pre-war cards, and I think they're gorgeous. So I'm Fultoncards, and if you like this, just let me know. From snowy Brooklyn.